Hey guys, I've been asked to make a video, and if somebody really makes that request, most of the time, unless I know totally nothing on the subject or don't think it's appropriate to talk about, I'll make an effort to. Okay, so somebody asked because he believes that he is one himself, a genetic non-responder to taking steroids. So he takes steroids and essentially nothing happens, okay? And I've heard about this. I heard there's some people are just have different genetics in general where they can take, like a TRT dose of testosterone and blow the fuck up, while like on average people don't blow up on taking that level of testosterone. But then you can take a large amount of all types of steroids and nothing happens. I've heard of people like the bodybuilders of the golden era, like in the 70s, they actually didn't even take, apparently, that much steroids, okay? Compared to what people do now, and they were genetic freaks. They were high responders to the steroids. So what does that mean to be a high responder to taking steroids, okay? And I think personally anybody can benefit. It's not like you won't respond at all. It's just like there's going to be some potential variance, okay? And I just want to make a disclaimer here that the whole biochemistry side of things that I'm going to talk about is like I know some things about. I've heard about things. I'll relay that information to you, but there might be some things I say in this video as a disclaimer that might not be 100% accurate. Just one second. Thank you. So first of all, what are some of the reasons why people might not respond to steroids the same? First of all, people have different body compositions. And especially when it comes down to, this is something that I can talk about because it's up my alley as far as my profession goes. Musculoskeletal system, particularly the muscles themselves, have different proportions of different type of fibers, like fast twitch or slow twitch fibers. And part of some of the muscles that's involved with strength and like power and size, is like the ones that say like a sprinter is got. You ever see a sprinter's quads and thighs? They're fucking huge, right? Compared to somebody who's a long distance runner, they're more thin, okay? Because they're using different type of twitch fibers. So if you're somebody with the body composition that's maybe a bit, maybe you're like a bit of a string bean more, as opposed to somebody who's like what's the typical athletic build, an ectomorph or endomorph, I forget off the top of my head. Anyway, if you're not built like already with a good like a V on you and things like, and maybe you're like one of those guys that are a bit more like alien like long, skinny and things, then you might not put on the same amount of muscle because you don't have those type A or whatever fibers, okay, as much as them. Anyway, like black people have these types of fibers, so if you're black, you're more likely, I think, to be a responder. I don't quote me on that, but they generally have these types of fibers that steroids will respond to, okay? So that's the one thing, which is just your natural body composition, okay, your genetic. That's genetics. Second of all, is when it comes to body composition, is how much fat you have on you. You know what I mean? I've talked about this in other videos, and so have other people on my commented, where if you have maybe a higher body fat percentage, it might convert to estrogen more, and it might not utilize the steroids to the same extent anyway. Okay, it doesn't mean it won't work, but it just won't be to the same extent as, say, if you have a low body fat percentage. Okay, now to get into some of the biochemistry side of things, okay? In order for androgens to work, and this is as well not just the exogenous androgens that we inject into ourselves that are from artificial, but the ones that are innate, like the ones that are natural within us, produced, say, by the testes and whatnot. In order for them to work, they need to have a receptor site to act upon, okay, in specific tissues, okay? It's like a key and a key lock. Like the androgens themselves are like keys floating around the body, the hormones, and then there's like millions of them, right? And then they travel through the blood to different areas, and then if it fits into a particular receptor site, then it like turns it on, essentially. That's a very layman's way to explain it, but it's pretty close anyway to exactly what happens. Okay, so if somebody genetically lacks the receptor types, like just doesn't have enough of it, then those androgens aren't going to work. It's just going to go through the blood and not be and not stick anywhere, essentially, not unlock the potential of the genes to turn the genes on to start fucking growing, essentially. Okay, that's what it comes down. A lot of it comes down to. I think that's if I was to make an educated guess, that's what I think probably this guy who made the comment has something to do with the androgen receptor sites. So it might just be a matter of he needs to take more. Seriously, it's like you gotta take more of it. Don't quote me on that, but you might need to. Okay, or to take one that's better utilized, like maybe a NOR19 one. He said he was taking fucking Tremble. I wouldn't recommend Tremble, but Nandrolones or something. I don't know. Anavar might be something that works better anyway. And maybe HGH on top of that might work better too. Another aspect, and I'm not going to talk too extensively on this because I don't know. Like, I don't want to talk extensively of things that I don't like. I don't want to just like fucking talk things I don't know about, right? So I won't talk too extensively on this, but there are different enzymes within the body that might break down androgens, as opposed to some people, like, I think it's Chinese people, yeah, they can't tolerate alcohol. They're based on their genetics. The genetics of them can't break down alcohol in their body, so they turn all red and whatnot, right? So maybe it's kind of the same thing as that, where there's certain enzymes that either make it unable to utilize the androgens in himself, or unable to convert it into a form that your body can utilize, like a derivative of one of the androgens, like something like dihydrotestosterone is a derivative of testosterone itself. So maybe it can't utilize the dihydrotestosterone. I don't know. Something like that is happening, or it's just the enzyme's just straight breaking it down. So it the molecule of whatever androgens within your body can't be utilized because it's being broken up. One of those, okay? Something there's happening, okay? I won't talk too much more about that because, again, I don't want to be talking out my ass about things I don't know what I'm talking about. Lastly, I'm going to mention that there might be something else that's a lifestyle situation that's not on point, such as diet, sleep, or exercise. Like, maybe your exercise, you're just like not pushing hard, not lifting enough. You're just like plateauing. Maybe you got to increase your load a bit, or increase your frequency a bit, increase the reps, change something about your plan. Maybe as far as food goes, you need to eat more. Like, food is the biggest anabolic of them all. Like, that's like the brick and mortar. Like, that's what provides all of the building blocks, and then the androgens help, like, the workers put that all together and build something, right? So maybe it could be something as simple as upping the caloric intake, or eating more proteins, as opposed to I don't know what he eats, but eat. If you a good staple diet that works, proven to work, is chicken with equal amounts of rice. Chicken and rice, a cup of rice and a big thick slab of chicken. Chicken breast, that works, with some vegetables. Eat that a few times a day, or a salmon steak or something like that. That works. Okay? And then get enough goddamn sleep too. Something, based on our lifestyle, a lot of people don't get enough sleep. Some people think, I can work on just 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours. I'm totally fine. Yeah, but your body might not. Your mind might be okay, but your body needs that time to recover. That's the time where growth hormones produced in the body. Our body, switches to on a feedback system that works. That is the healing process and growth process. That's where a lot of growth happens. When you do like a leg workout, the size doesn't, like the rebuilding doesn't happen like immediately after. It happens even like days after. Okay, so it happens while you're sleeping, and that's why sleep is so important as well. So I covered a few things, but when it comes down to just genetics, again, because he feels he's a genetic non-responder, the fact that he's probably responding to his own androgens, like, is he a total, I gotta ask this, and don't be offended to the guy who's listening, like, are you are you totally a feminine kind of guy? Because if you're a masculine guy, that means that you're receptive to your own androgens, okay? Like, are you receptive to the androgens that your own testicles are producing? If so, then you're not a total androgen non-responder. If you talk and behave and look like a woman, then maybe there is something going on there, all right? But I don't think so. If you look like a man and you talk like a man and you are able to work out and you've made gains in the gym already, that means you do have some androgens and you are responding to the androgens that your body is producing, which means, hypothetically, in my mind, you should respond to exogenous testosterone and other androgens, okay? So, cycle I recommend is 200 to 300 testosterone for good gains. Like, this is a TRT plus, like somebody who really wants to take it seriously, but who might still be like a beginner at this. 200 to 300 test, and then something like Primabol and match that. Then maybe 2 to 4 IUs HGH on top of that. If you can't grow on that while you're eating well, sleeping well, and working out 4 or 5 times a week, get back to me on that. And after a few months, stick with it for a while. See, and then the other thing is maybe your source is shit. Okay, it's underdosed or it's just totally bunk. Okay, so make sure you get your shit tested. That's the last thing, and get it from a secure source. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Anybody else have any thoughts, or did I miss anything, or am I dead on? I think this was pretty dead on as all of the options that it could have been. So thank you again for your question. I hope I answered it the best I could. And anybody else have any other questions, feel free to ask on this subject or anyone else, okay? Any other subject. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day. Peace.